Okay, welcome to Tower Defense. This is going to be a bit of a tutorial video on how to get as far as you can. This is the 21 King variation. I've played a lot of games in the 5 King variation too. We found it was too difficult to get going, so I'll give you a brief little overview of some of the variations in this one. I have all of the usual gold bonuses here. There's the stone bonuses there. I never get these 2 stone bonuses. I'll explain why later on. Now, being the 21 King variation, the first one we want to be getting is this 1 king every 1 minute. So I'm just waiting for the congestion to die down, then I'll bring my kings down here. Something we spoke about before the game. The other players blocking up all the room here, as you can see purple here is doing. Moving on down, I've got my villagers going through. I think in this one you start with 3 villages each side, and I've sent one through the teleportation to move them up into the resources. Yeah, I think I did. I still obviously haven't noticed. I've got a couple of villagers here not doing anything, so I'll put them both over to gold, and just through trial and error I found out that's the best balance for me playing as the Huns, is to only have 4 villages here on stone instead of, well, I've got 2, 4, 5 or 6 there. Now coming over just here to the left, this is another variation in this 21 Kings game. You get given a samurai and he gives you a special bonus. So you've got the alchemists, the attacker, the trader, the defender, the caster and the gambler. I always get the defender. It gives me 3,000 extra stones straight up. It gives an extra 5,000 hit points onto my life tower. And so straight away, with all that extra stone I have, I go through and lay out a big line of towers to the villages. Now I always split my villages up as I've done, so I always have 2 down the front, 2 from the middle, building up. And moving on, so what have I got here? So I've obviously gone and already got the 21 King bonus, and then after that my priority is to go through and get all the economy bonuses. So if you can come down here and have a look at my monasteries, so I've got 2 relics there. Then I want to get up to the Castle Age, Imperial Age, get mine to accursed towers for defense. And once I've got those built, then I can really just kind of relax. I don't need to stress about anything coming through here, because I know from experience that it's not until that I get up to this kind of level here with this Balasaurus guy, the Siege Ram, Conquistador, and until the Hun. It's only when I start to get up to this level that I've got to start worrying about what's going on. So I know that I can set these villages, I can be on autopilot, and I can be focusing on all my economy upgrades. So I'll give you the basic order of the 21 King variation as to what I've done. So once I've gone through and set up my villages as I want them, once I've placed my samurai into the bonus, I'm keeping in mind what's happening down here with these 2 monasteries. I'll then go through and get Castle Age, Imperial Age, which you just saw me do them. I'll get my 2 accursed towers, and then I'm going to be focusing on maxing out my relics. So I want to get those relics as soon as I can for the gold bonus, obviously, which comes with them. And so once I've gone through, I think it's like 4 or 5 extra kings that you send through to get these relics. Now, one thing to keep in mind with all of the tower defense games is that you never ever send through multiple kings at once into any of these single waypoints. It's okay for these big ones where they're demanding 30 kings at a time or 50 kings at a time, for example. But all these little ones down here, particularly the relics, because you can only get so many relics at a time. So you only ever get 3 come out on these 3 little flags. The monks will be generated automatically, so you push them in, and then you can go through and send your second king down there. So if you want to send 4 or 5 kings to come stand down here at once, it's fine. You send 1 through, you come on down, sort out the relics, and you have to manually click back and come get them again. So you can see here what the green player is doing. He's sending them through 1 at a time. If I come down here and have a look at him, he's putting them all in. And now one thing to remember too, on this particular 21 Kings variation, if you walk through this little carpet way here, it gets rid of it gets rid of your monk for you, but it gives you an extra little bonus. It might be 175 wood, stone, and gold, or something along those lines. So you get a little perk for, instead of deleting the monks for population space. So that's one thing to remember there. So anyway, back to my order. So I can see here now that I'm Imperial Age, so I've gone Castle, Imperial. I've got my 2 Coast Towers. As you can see here, they've got they've got 1,000 extra damage, which is fantastic. And so what I would have been doing here is, once I've done that, is going through, as you can see, I've just gone and gotten the extra relics. I'm just going to speed this up to save some time. I'm actually going to speed it up again just to get through some of this mundane building area, and then once my build order in terms of my kings changes, I'll update you. So also being the Huns too, there's no population cap, which is I find is very important. Now here we are. Let's slow this down again. I've gone through and gotten this perk here, the 5 kings for 20 more relics. So I only do that once I've filled up this other relic space here. Okay, so with the online multiplayer lag, you can coordinate it quite well, where you're moving both monks at the same time. And so once I've put all 10 relics or 20 relics into 10 in each of these 2 monasteries, I'll kill these monks just for population space, because that's 2 extra spots I can have for trade cogs or trade carts. Back to what I was talking about before with the trade carts, being the Huns is that population space, and I've found that it's much more beneficial to actively select me building trade carts. As you can see, I am here just 2 or 3 at a time at any one time, instead of sending kings into these slots down here for trade carts and trade cogs. Because if you think a king is worth 2,500 gold, it's only cost me what, 150 gold each to build these trade carts. So if I'm spending 2,500 gold on just 3 trade carts, which would generate from these flags here, they'd have to do, I actually haven't sat down and do it to figure out the maths involved, but they may have to do 10 laps to pay back their purchase cost of the king. So I don't see it's worth it with the trade cogs and trade carts. I'll be building them manually throughout the game, and every now and then you get distracted and you forget to continuously build them. So we'll come back down here to see my buildings going. So as you can see here, you start with 3 villages each side. I sent through. I sent 1 from each side through the transporter here and put them up into the resources. So sent to the resource area where they're up here. Moving forward, and I would have put them. I've still got this one here on food that I've obviously forgotten about, but that's nothing too severe. A little bit of micro too. If you see that you've got a gap here with one of your gold mines or stone mines, you want to make sure that the villages are actively taken from this one, because you want to get through that space as quickly as you can, and then place a village on this flag, which with the gold gives you an instant 10,000 gold, which is 4 kings. And then it gives you an infinite supply of gold, which will appear here. Same with the stone. So obviously my attention is going to be elsewhere as I'm building. So if I had noticed, I would have put them all down onto this one and pushed them through. And same thing, you get a nice little stone bonus and then an infinite supply of stone here. But as you can see now, I've gone and actively recruited 2 more building villages. So my strategy is to get these towers up as quickly as possible. So once I've got them all up, once I've got all of the economy bonuses that I wanted to get, so I started with getting the 21 king bonus. I went through and got the Castle Age, Imperial Age, the Cursed Towers, just down here, sorry, all of the relics. Then I went through and got the relics here again in this one. And if I come down here to the corner, you can see that I've also got this monastery down here, which is a bonus one. So, and I've just killed my monk there. Good timing. So what I've done there is I've come through, and this little fellow down the end here, he teleports 1 unit at a time. Remember, so don't send through 5 or 6 kings or kings through at one time, because only one will come out the other end. So it's something to be careful if they come out down here in this corner of the map, and then you bring them on down. And because I'm playing with my friends, I didn't want to be too greedy and take up these extra 2 slots. So something we spoke about before the game. And 6 kings, you can see here. I've clicked on the monastery. I'll place into the slot here, and I get another monk and 10 relics. So it's an extra 10 gold per second that I'm getting there, which all adds up in the end. So if you think about that, I've got one. Oh, hang on, here we go. Oh, maybe there you go, mate. No, sorry, I lie. I hadn't filled up these 2 monasteries here. So that's obviously what I'm doing now. So my apologies for that. So once I'm done, I will have 1, 2, the 2 down here, 3, 4, and then the 5th one down here. So that'll be 50 gold per second from 50 relics, which is fantastic. And there's no point me trying to move away because the auto screen will just drag me back here. So I'm just going to speed this up until it's all done. 10 on that one, 7 on that one. So here's my last 3. And you can see I'm not deleting my monks. I'm sending them through the pathway here. And I've accidentally missed one, so I'm just going to be building 1 monk here, as you can see coming out, just to take care of that. And when you walk down this carpet, you'll see on the left-hand side, it'll say that it's given me an extra 125 wood, stone, and gold, or something along those lines. There we go, just there. Little perks. I've got all my monasteries full, and now I'm sending 3 kings down here. This will be going to the gold. The 3 king gold here. I lie again. Now I'm saving up stuff. Obviously, already gone through and gotten these 3 gold ones. So you want to have the maximum potential to be earning gold through the game. So you go through and get these 3 individual gold bonuses. You want to make sure that you've gotten these king generator bonuses here as best you can. And so obviously I've taken care of all the golden relics, and now I've been saving up for the extra king. And once you've gone through and done that, making sure that you don't limit yourself with your building space in this one here. You come through and check again. So I've unlocked the 3rd building row, which is fantastic. And the same thing again. So even though these guys are getting up past halfway, there's still absolutely no threat to coming through. Got little trebuchets firing here. They've got 10,000 attack. I don't think I've ever seen one hit a unit, but they're there anyway. And one thing to remember too with now the Huns don't get the treadmill crane, which does slow down the development, whereas the Aztecs, who I was playing with, do, which is fun. But I'll have to make another video with the Aztecs in Spanish to explain some of their bonuses there with the gold generation, their trade bonus. But I've gone through with the blacksmith and got the bracer upgrades, etc. And I've got the arrow slots and chemistry upgrade with the university. Make sure with your miners you do get the. Here we go. You can see here they've gone through. I've touched the end of the run. It gave me a 5,000 stone bonus, I think, or thereabouts. And now I've just moved them back up here. And the same will happen with the gold. So in 700 gold time, I'll go through, hit the end of the flag, and get the 10,000 gold bonus. So as I was saying before, you want to make sure that you do go through and get the mining upgrades, just to improve the efficiency of your villages. Now what I've got here, so I've got. Okay, so this looks at 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So it looks like I'm going for the 15 king bonus. This is an absolute must to get. So I actually think in this one I may have got the 8 king bonus and the 10 king bonus sooner, which I would recommend against. I definitely recommend saving off the 15 first, giving this one, because this is the one that's going to be giving you the faster attack bonuses. So grab the 15 king bonus first, and then once you've got that one, you can start saving up for the 10 and the 8. So it's just something that I've corrected in my new game. So as you can see, he gets frustrating when people are blocking up the walkway, because numerous times here, if someone's going to have a big bunch of kings here, you'll try to bring your kings around, and they'll walk down here in the stone slot and give you 1,000 stones. So a couple of times it's happened to me where I may have lost anywhere between 8 and 10 kings in one hit going through this waypoint here, and I look to see where my kings are going. I can't see them. Then look at my resources, and I've got all the stone that I don't need. I'm trying to figure out why. Okay, so I'm going to presume that obviously I've got all the economy bonuses. I know that I've got the 2 king bonuses here. I think I got these 2 before I got the 15 king bonus down here. So now I think it's just where'd they go? I thought I had more than that. Now it's just going to be a waiting game. So I will unlock the extra. I've already unlocked the extra space. Fantastic. So that's where the other 4 went. They went over to the corner here, by extra tower space. So someone's complaining about them being blocked up again. That's right. happens all the time. Who we got here? Joan of Arc, I think. Yeah, she's easy. As I said before, that all the units that come out are, where's Joan of Arc these days? King's Khan, she's not that high up. No, she's way down here, I think. We're ages away. We've got the speed up full, so it's coming through us nice and quicker. So plenty more to come out. As you can see, so I've already gone through and got the fifth row, and as you can see also here, the reason why I'm trying to fill up all the rows with waiting to be built towers is so that I know once I've filled all the rows up, I can then move all of my stone miners, of which there's only one left anyway, onto gold. Now, a mistake that I think I've made here, I'm still trying to figure out the balance. So what I've been doing is, when I do need stone, I will send one king at a time down to this one here, which is just a 1500 stone bonus. It's not one that you get every couple of minutes like this one here, where you get 375 stone every couple of minutes, or this one here we get 800 stone every couple of minutes. So the reason why I don't waste kings on these is because later in the game I don't need the stone income, and then the value of stone is going to drop if I try to sell it at the market anyway. And as you can see, I'm still here consciously building a couple carts at a time, knowing that I've got plenty of population space to play with. And so what I was saying before is that I was still trying to figure out the balance of how many stone miners I need. So maybe the 4, as I mentioned at the start of the game, to continue on, instead of moving so many off stone to come down and help build. That way I'm not going to be wasting too many kings. I think from memory I may have sent maybe 5 or 6 kings in through one at a time through the stage of the game. So it's not too many, but it can be the difference of waiting patiently for, if you're sitting on 42, 43 kings here, and you've got quite a difficult unit coming through your tower funnel, your gauntlet. It can be the difference between winning and losing if you're waiting for that attack upgrade here. So it's still something I'm trying to balance, and that's the purpose of these videos, is to try explain the little decisions you make. So Athboy, the Irish fella, has a couple of good videos, and he's the one that actually got me onto playing tower defense. As you can see, I've sent another one from gold down into here to help finish off the building, get it done up as quick as I can. So as I was explaining before, that Athboy has a couple of good videos, and he said something along the lines of a really small mistake early on can end up having a massive butterfly effect later in the game. So it's something you want to try avoid as best you can. And so obviously here I'm saving up for the 50 king bonus. I've got all my economy upgrades, I've got all the king bonus upgrades, so I'll be looking to put them all on here, but I don't want to get that until all of my towers have been built, so my full 5 rows. So I'm just waiting patiently until I've done that. That's why I've taken a couple of villages off my resources and brought them down in here. So I don't necessarily need too much. So as you can see, actually, I think there it is. So I've got all of my rows waiting to be developed. So I've already got them laid down so that I know that I can take everyone off stone and move them onto gold now. And when I notice that in the game, I'll go to the market and just sell all my stone, all my food, all my wood, because I just don't need it anymore. It's gold that I can have. Okie dokie, so let's have a quick look at what we got here. Richard's Lionheart is fairly easy. So if I have a look at my tower, so my first tower that I built, it's 5 plus 387 attack, which isn't too bad. And you can see here that if I have any difference between my friends who I'm playing with, so they've got 411 coming on down, 493, so 500 essentially, and 820. So you can see that compared 820 to 400 for me, I'm still doing fine. I'm not sure what the yellow player has done in terms of a different build order, so he's obviously gone through and made a couple of attacking upgrades, which I have not seen the necessity to do too quickly. I've been focusing on the building and economy upgrades beforehand. So you can see here, green player's gone through and gotten both of these. I think he may, because there's a red monk here, maybe red had it first and green's come and stolen it, so that's all part of the game, I suppose. But rightio, so what do we got here? So still building trade carts. not building trade cooks at the moment, but I would have been. So on my screen, I know that one entire row is 29 kings. So that's 58, that's 60 kings there, I think, if my maths is correct. Yes, that's a group of 60 kings there. So now I'm not sure if this game I made the mistake of teleporting them one at a time through here, which I'm going to advise if you ever play this 21 king variation that you don't. For me anyway, I don't want to come down and get this 1100 attack. I just want to focus on getting the 50 king 700 attack a couple times instead, because if you congest all this with too many kings, or if you send through multiple kings at a time, you end up losing kings in the transport process. And numerous times I've gone through and I feel as if I've sent 70 kings down there, and I might highlight everything and realise I've only got 53. So somewhere along the line, the game's bugged, the game's glitched, which isn't a complaint, or could be here we go, accidentally deleted the monastery. Green Boxer's got a habit of doing that a couple of times. I've played with him, and it was like 3 or 4 games in a row that he did it by accident. But back to what I was saying before, that just due to the risk of teleporting so many kings at a time through for this bonus, I just found that the risk wasn't worth it. So I've just saved up, and once my almost there. Once I've got all, it gets quite congested too with too many villages here, which is just all part of it. But once I've gone through and got this upgrade, hopefully, if this is the game I'm thinking of, I'll go through and fill up 50 kings into this spot. And then also, really, really important perk if you are playing this 21 kings variation, there's this extra row down the side here. So this is obviously for the 5th building space. I've got no idea what this does. I put 10 kings here at one stage and it didn't work. This one here is quite important later on. I find it's quite expensive, to be honest, but I use it later on in the game and you'll see that. So this one king gives an extra 100 health points on your main tower. So you can see here I've got 20,000 health points. Red's got 15,000. Green's got 20,800, so he's already gone through and put some kings on there, I would think. Oh no, actually, no, sorry, that's a lie. So Byzantines, I think, get all of their buildings get a health bonus as you go up the ages. Correct me if I'm wrong there, someone. And then Aztecs here, 15,000 again. So I've got 20,000. So later in the game, I'll go through and do this. But another really important one is this one here. So you're adding on an extra range to your towers for the space of 4 kings. So that's 10,000 gold per one range. So it is quite expensive, but it makes a massive difference. So if you've got enemy units coming through the pathway here, the gauntlet as I like to call it, instead of having just this kind of radius of towers firing, here we go, I've got a couple, this must be a mistake, I think. I think that must have been a mistake. Yeah, so what's done is that it's funneled and one king is accidentally run down here into the building section, as I said earlier, when people started to congest this area, and here I am making this big mistake. I'm sending through one king at a time, taking up a lot of time to do so, and I think I end up with anywhere between 5 and 10 less kings than what I thought I sent through, because somewhere along the line I've either sent through 2 at a time or the game's glitched. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So with the extra range, as you can see here, I haven't got any range bonuses yet, 8+3, but the back row automatically, oh no, they don't yet. Oh, there you go. I thought they did. So obviously as the cav archers are coming through at the very start, I'll have a greater number of towers firing initially with a greater range. So it means it engages these towers back here from an earlier point, so giving more damage earlier on, which is going to be absolutely clinical in the tough times. So I'm not sure at what stage I start going through and getting those upgrades. As you can see here, I've transported a few of them through, and there's 31 kings there, and another couple there, so I've got about 40 kings here already. I've got another group there of a couple of trade cogs there too, accidentally. Yes, I'm not sure how many kings I lost during that transport, but I think from memory, I spent so much time stressing and waiting for this big 70 king upgrade that I only got to get one decent tower attacking upgrade in the entire game, and I think it cost me in the end. I think I won this game a pseudo victory anyway. It's not. No, I say that because I didn't get up to the final characters. This Master of Templar fella tends to stuff around with us quite a bit. He's the guy that usually kills us, but I think in this one I go through and beat him, and I get up to Lancelot, but my friends here in the red, green and yellow die out during Master of Templar, so automatically the game's over, and I don't get to have a chance to see how I go. They can see here someone's complaining about, oh no, I'm complaining about yellow blocking up the pathway. These are all friends we're playing with, so there's no anger or hate with when we're flaring each other. So sending through. I've got 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're 42 there. So I should have my 70 there ready to go. And these massive lumps, I don't really spend too much time counting as I did then. I put them through. Actually, I sent through too many, so there's 6 left over. I've got to wait for yellow to get out of the way pretty much before I can teleport them back down here, which they'll just reappear back out where the normal kings come. So have a quick look at my trades. So I'm not building any more. I wouldn't have a clue how many I've got. I might have 30 odd, and maybe same amount for the trade cogs, about 30 odd. So ideally I'd like to be building more if I go back and play this game again. But let's have a look at that attack upgrade. So I now have 1800 attack. So I know that these two that I built at the start are going to have the strongest arrows as opposed to the ones back here, which took a little bit longer for me to build. So they've only got 1400 attack. So there's a 400 attack difference in the time it took to build the ones at the start to these ones. Now I can hear the town bell jiggling because I know that I'm sending through, getting extra range. I've come back down to my towers again. You can see that 8 plus 9 fall on my towers, which is going to be fantastic. So as the units start coming through, a longer range of towers are going to start firing. I'm not sure why I've got these villages down here. Must be a mistake, so I'll send them through. And as you can see, I've got a little add-on with my game that I can see the arrows. There's a brighter firing arrow, I suppose, so you can see them firing from a long distance. So you can see these towers all the way back here are starting to fire on the early units, which gives a big advantage. So 8 plus 10 attack, 8 plus 10 range, essentially almost at 2000 attack. So my cursed towers here almost at 3000 attack. Red, yeah, same thing, almost at 2000 attack. Green, 1500 attack. Yellow, 2200 attack. That's fantastic. You see here, there's 4 again, and I think I've just sent these through all straight away to get the range upgrade again soon, because I won't have time to save up, because I know that what we're up to here, we're up to the elite war elephants. We come over here and have a look. Here's elite war elephants. Here we're starting to get to the pinch point of the game, and it's these characters here. So none of these, I think, with me get through at all until Master of Templar. So I'll come have a look at my health tower. Yeah, she's all good. Alright, here we are, starting to go. So I'm just going through 4 kings at a time for the range upgrade. And I think it maxes out at 8 plus 13. I made the mistake of putting maybe 4, maybe 8 kings too many through, looking for more of an upgrade. But I think 8 plus 13 is where it caps out. 8 plus 6, so red's gone through and started his upgrade with the range as well. 8 plus 4, maybe green has gone and done 1. 8 plus 5, so yellow started to do the same thing as well. So, and here on in, once I've got the max range, it's just about saving up. So maybe if I can save up to 12 kings, I can throw down and get an extra 100 attack mode. That's per arrow, so that's per every time your towers fire, which is fantastic. Okay, let me once more go through my king order from the start. So we got dealt 21 kings at the start, so I brought it straight down here to the 21 king upgrade, because you want extra kings coming through as quickly as possible. So once I've got that one, then the next kings that I got was Castle Age, Imperial Age, a Cursed Tower 1, a Cursed Tower 2, and then you're either looking for getting the 3 gold bonuses straight away. So you've got that constant stream of gold income. As you can see by my resources, I've made the mistake of not selling off my wood, food, and stone. That's a rookie error. Where we flag, yeah, I think I was flagging down here, so I've got no idea why I had been given all these berserks. Anyway, so the game's in quick, so I'll quickly keep going. So once I've either got all the gold bonuses there, I want to max out my other economy bonuses, so my relics down here. So I wanted to make sure I had these 2 monasteries full. I wanted to make sure that I have these 2 monasteries full by putting through 5 kings through this teleportation zone, and then I want to make sure I put 6 kings through the bottom teleportation zone down here, and getting this monastery just here like so. And then from there, I wasn't wasting any kings on building trade carts and trade cogs. I was doing that mainly. As you can see, I've just kind of maxed out, trying to get as much economy going as I can late in the game, and then and I've just gone through and did what I said I was going to do before. I put 12 kings through in the 100 power upgrade. These are pretty easy. These ones, there's no risk here. It might be in 2 or 3 minutes time that you see everything coming through the Master of Templar guy. And then from there, once I had the economy upgrades, that's when I was looking to get this extra king bonus as quickly as I could. So I have that extra king coming through every 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Then I went through and got these first 2 smaller tower attack upgrades. But as I said before, in retrospect, I would make sure I save up for this one first, then come back and get where am I here? Then come back and get through these 2 smaller ones. Then I was only getting the stone, the 1,000 stone, as I needed it to build, and I think maybe once or twice I got the 1,000 wood or the 2,000 wood here as well. I removed a couple of villages from the resource area to bring them down to help build, because I wanted to get these 5 rows of towers up as quickly as I could, and I think I beat everyone else to it. Back when we were here, I'm making a joke with everyone, because we know that the big fella's coming up soon. Until the Huns pretty easy to kill. And I put through my secret samurai into the defender, which gave an extra couple thousand stone to help build at the start, and gave me an extra 5,000 hit points here. It has a couple of the benefits if I can quickly. This is just a quick overview. So the defender, so 500 HP and life tower, 1 repairer, 3,000 stone, 250 stone every 1 minute. I'm not sure what this does, but there's a quick overview of what the different options give. So if we come back to the game quickly, here we go. This is Master Templar. This is the end of the game, guys. So I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. I went through and beat this guy, but my team unfortunately didn't. This guy's just massively overpowered. We still haven't figured out how to get past him. I've gotten past him with very minimal life. So you can see the towers are going to start. Ooh, I lost it. You can see the towers are going to start burning here very soon. So yellow getting crunched, green getting crunched. I've got my repairer hammering for all she's worth. Red's getting crunched, and I'm getting crunched too. So we come back. So I've beaten the first wave of Master Templar. These other guys are getting absolutely smacked. Not too bad, not too bad. Too many coming through. It's GG for them, and it's GG for the overall game, because unfortunately I can't continue on without anyone else to play against. So you lose 1,000 hit points per unit that comes through, but your towers slowly regenerate 1 HP per 1 second anyway. There we go. And that's the end of the game. So thank you very much for watching. I'll be putting up a few more as we go. I'm going to be looking at, or just quickly pause the replay. I'll be looking at the difference in the different civilizations. So the Aztecs and the Spanish are quite popular. The Koreans are quite popular too. The Byzantines are popular for the extra health bonus on the tower as well. So if you had the combination of the Byzantines and the defender in this one here, it'd be quite good to see how well your micro skills are with your economy, with getting an appropriate setup, knowing that you've got the extra health. So you can see here you start off with 3,500. Oh, there we are. Byzantines 9,000. Wow. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching, and as I said before, I'll be putting up more videos, so be sure to check them out, and I hope this improves your game. So the only reason I put this up was because I started to figure out little strategies of improving my success rate. So I've gotten up to Lancelot once. I haven't had a chance to fire anything at him, but we're still ages away from getting to to these two here. So anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it.